I wasn't sure about making this kind of video the first time I came around, and this kind of video specifically, but even after 2 months of it being added to the game, at least on the global side, it seems like some people are still confused about the whole entire thing. So if you people are confused on how you should exactly be casting your characters, don't worry, your fellow Z got you covered. But first, let's go over what exactly our casting patterns are. Now I know my global people already know this, but to the SEA server people watching this, I feel like this is going to help you guys a lot by including this. Ever since the start of the Lightbringer and 8 on Camel patch, a new secret realm stage known as the Ways of the Laws was introduced. I'm sure you guys seen this a lot just by watching a few of my other videos, but basically, by farming the stage, you can obtain casting patterns materials, and this will allow you to upgrade your character's stats. Keep in mind that there are a variety of these things, and a few of these stages only unlock on certain days, but on Sunday, all of them will be available at once, just like the Anarchy stages. You only get to do this 99 times a week. If I had to guess, I'm pretty sure it's to stop people from being too overpowered, especially when it comes to stuff like PvP, where it can make all the difference. Also, good luck with this because the grind is terrible, but really worth it in the end. However, to get the accessory materials, you need to complete any of the stages from level 60 or higher to get them, which is pretty annoying because you don't really get a whole lot of them disregarding the daily rewards. In order to actually use these materials, by going to the equipment menu on your character, on the bottom right, you click on where it says casting pattern. That will lead you to another screen. By using the materials that you collected from the Ways of the Law stages, this is where you're able to increase your character's stats. Now, obviously, not all characters will need the same material. So, for example, Matthew will need these kind of materials for the upgrade. Meanwhile, the girl Angelina will need a completely different kind of material set. And this is due to the fact of their classes and the type of equipment that they can use, if that wasn't obvious already. Also, if you guys are worried that if it gets changed when you are changing classes, no need to worry about that because it does not. It will actually carry over when you switch between them. And you guys will notice this big question mark right in the middle. What is that exactly? Well, if we take a look at a different character, you can see it's a bit different. And that right there is called casting skills. And to put it simply, casting skills are like secret passive skills that certain characters can unlock. Keyword, certain characters. The way how you can unlock them is by fully casting them, get the exclusive equipment, and have them reach 6 stars. Which in my opinion is really dumb. Well, getting their exclusive equipment doesn't really bother me too much, but needing them to be at 6 stars is really asking a lot. That can sometimes take, at best, at least 2 months to do if you have that character from 3 stars and you're farming the shards from the Gate of Fates. I say that if it were me designing this, instead of the characters needing to be at 6 stars, I would say have them fully bonded and we would be good to go. Do keep in mind though that not all characters have access to casting skills. At some point they will though. It's just only a matter of time. Every new major update for random characters will get them, and I usually always go over them in those update videos that I do, and I always timestamp for them for you guys so that it's easier for you guys to know what I'm talking about and where exactly I talk about them. So if you guys are interested, feel free to check them out cause it helps your boy out, you know? Cause I would really appreciate it. Anyways, right. So, now that you guys know what these casting patterns are and what it's all about, especially to my SEA peeps and newer players. So I hope that you guys have been saving on your burgers, because the grind for this will take an excruciating long time. I've been at this since day 1 of the stage being released. I've been grinding it non-stop, and I'm barely just getting through. That's how serious the grind is. So now let's go over to the actual main point of this video. How you should exactly be using these materials. The way how I see it, if you're one of those people that enjoy PvP and often do them from time to time, I'd highly recommend starting from there, cause it'll make quite a huge difference in gameplay. So if we take a look at my box here, I've been farming this since day 1, like I said, and almost half of my team on here is fully casted. So characters like my SP Matthew is done, SP Elwin, and Neo Zerida, with Jin Toki being like almost halfway there. And some of the other characters in my box aren't even casted yet. That's how bad the grind is. Even though it is quite painful to do, it really is going to be worth it at the end of it all. Heck, even if you feel like it, you can even do your backup characters if it's really necessary to do. The characters that you use for PvE should be the last thing on your mind if you're a PvP enjoyer. If you don't, then you may notice quite a bit of difference in stats compared with the other team. And that will actually really make a difference between your survivability and your offensive capability. Which is why it's really important that you focus on your PvP team first. Because if worse comes to worse, the more notable thing that you'll see is that you may not deal a whole lot of damage because your character isn't really fully casted yet, and your opponents are. And that can even sometimes occur when you're the one on the defense. And at some point, you can even unlock their casting skills, you know, if it's actually really good. Because there are characters with casting skills that are actually pretty good or even like fairly good. And there are some casting skills that are like just outright bad. Of course, there will be new characters over time that will become meta to the game, so be sure to farm ahead of time so that you save yourself enough trouble from having to wait day after day to farm them when they are actually eventually released. I think this is one of the biggest things that you should really plan out for, unlike PvE where it doesn't really matter too much. Even if you're not a PvP player, I would start off casting the team that you would use in PvE. So for example, whenever I do regular content, I mainly use a princess team that consists of Christiane, Lucretia, Rosencio, Rosalia, and Sherry. Those would be the characters I would fully cast first since I use them up against literally anything in the game. Then afterwards, when I'm done with them, I move on to the next faction that I would use in a team, or some other characters that I use. Although I may think to myself, I don't really use them often, so there's really no need to. That's the problem. For content like Forbidden Battleground and Dimensional Expedition, where you end up using a whole bunch of different characters, especially with Forbidden Battleground where you have to use a whole different kinds of different teams in order to get like certain rewards, and those are no joke. They can be pretty difficult to do. Dimensional Expedition is a bit easier when it comes to stuff like that, since you get like guild bonuses, but it still really helps out if you do. Characters like Shelfanio and Rainforest are both really good for that kind of content. So if you can get those type of characters or team, whatever, fully casted before taking them on, trust me, it'll make things a whole lot more easier. Even if you were already having no trouble with them at all, you'll be able to do those much more efficiently. Other than that, that's all I really have to say. If you guys have anything to share, feel free to let us know in the comments. I'm sure a lot of people will really appreciate that. But if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.